to people, pick something. Pick one topic, you know what I mean, and fight for it, you know what I mean? So, you know, I've been doing poetry for about 2.5 years now, and it's really good to be able to contribute my talent to an event such as this. And I will say, just before, I think, since I've known Emma Acko, I've learned so much about conflict minerals, you know what I mean? Just, you know, because she is passionate about it, you know, so like, you know, the YouTube videos and everything I've watched, you know, and I've become more conscientious about it. So, yeah, so I'm just happy to contribute.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just want, Errol's done a lot with Cardboard Citizens as well, so he's not just talking off the top of his head, you know. He's in the game, he put some work for it. And it's important that this is something that we all do in society, because I mean it's very easy to sit back and take on board whatever the media choose to give you. It's a very different thing to actively go out there on the internet, get yourself educated about important issues, and then do whatever you can. And what we're increasingly seeing in society, when petitions get rolling, that does actually change policies in our countries and other countries as well. So it's not a powerless thing here. It's just a case of raising awareness, networking, and then you can really make those big changes. So it's lovely to be part of that and doing something that's really fun as well. We're all exchanging ideas and different stories and different worlds, having fun with it and feeling each other and building all of that together. So it's a good place to be.
Putting something solid into the spirit of the artistic community. Russell Brand said recently, don't vote. And then there was all kind of hellstorm about people going, well, you have to vote, you have to belong to this party, you have to have these ideas. And then Jeremy Paxman said, you know, so I didn't vote because I didn't like either choices, and people said that was, I saw this woman on the news say that was disgusting. But it's not disgusting. Sometimes there is no choice. Political organizations, our nations, are all built on ideas that may or may not actually be trying to help us, but they're for a small group. People want to be involved, and they're kind of tired of the addictions that they're being sold, and this is kind of the only way, like through art, through expression, through moving to the outside, that gets infused into the public consciousness. The gentleman said on stage, like, what's going on in the Congo, it is reminiscent of Germany in the 40s. We know that people are getting onto trains, but we are not concerned about where these trains are going. And we have built this thing that says, for me to make this transformation or to fight this thing, I have to give up something that's really good for me, and we don't evolve. Part of these understandings, part of these human connections, why poetry, music, storytelling connect people, is because these are root cultural things. These are the basics in which we are sold the false ideas, but also sold the truth. And people who tend to drift towards the more artistic or the more intellectual are looking for an identity to do something with that power that's going on in their brain and in their heart. And things like this and movements like this are very important. If this was happening in mainland Western Europe, we'd never stop hearing about it. And it's one thing for everybody to get dressed up on Halloween in Guy Fawkes masks and to tell the man, excuse my language, to go fuck himself. There's nothing to that. There is something more when the man has to change his structure to deal with your internal revolution. Brother Jonas.
No, I think you covered it very much. I think Gerald Salento, he's an Italian-American trend forecaster, so he looks at what's happening in the world and he kind of makes commentary upon it, and he's very right many times. You can find him if you find him on YouTube and so forth. He said something the other day that I found very important and that can't be forgotten. No matter how horrific, when two black men of African descent killed a white man earlier this year in this country, an Englishman, the whole world talked about it. This stuff is happening in the Congo every day. The same horrificness happens every day there, so that we in the West can have a much higher elevated life. Now, what happens in the Congo doesn't get talked about. The other thing got talked about a lot, and again, it comes back to what everyone was saying. You have to have events like this to raise awareness. So I didn't know much about this before I came to one of these events. When I came to one of these events, I started, my thought process started, and then I got booked for an event, so I felt I had to write something for it. So now wherever I go, if I have a set, I try and put that piece in, because it shares the knowledge out, do you know what I mean? And that's what needs to happen, because the mainstream media is not going to talk about these things. They're not going to do it because it will destroy the whole system. If we all know about it and we start buying less of these things, even if we still buy some of it, because it's essential for us to communicate and so forth to some degree, the system will fall apart. There's no money going into it. There's already no money in it. So, just educate yourselves, like these wonderful brothers all said, and do your thing and share the knowledge, share the love. More importantly, because we're all one, and if we don't work as one, it's not going to work. Bless.